and it's everybody's favorite day of the week. The day of the week when we ask ourselves, does this thing really work? And today we're gonna get twisted, folks, because we're doing twisted tie-dye. That is what the packaging says. Oh, twisted tie-dye machine. Fancy. You guys, it is officially summertime time, and you know what that means. It's time to put on tie-dye. It's not like I don't wear tie-dye year-round, but you know what I mean? Like the summer is like extra, like, oh, tie-dye time, you know? So it was around this time last year, we tried another one of these really awesome machine kits. Do you guys remember that video? It was called the tie-dye orb machine. It was pretty magical. It was like a little round thing and there was holes in it and you like, you know, and put the dye in it and bam, your clothes come out and they look like kind of like this if you have tie-dye skills. So today I wanted to do another one because why just do tie-dye the easy way when you can make it hard? Actually, this kit is supposed to make the tie-dye, I think, like more impressively patterned. Let's just cut it open and find out. Why not? Ha! This is going so well. Scissors are difficult sometimes. It's only got to get easier from here on out, folks. Okay. Oh, no. You know what? I should turn on the second camera that I have here. Hello! My nails are not making it easier, but hey, I got tie-dye phalanges today, you guys. These are like impress nails, but they are literally like a set of fake nails that I've had for 8 years. Why? I keep fake plastic nails for 8 years. She's a hoarder, folks, a pack rat. This is what we've got in here. Oh, why is this heavy? Oh, I thought it would be like lightweight. This is a very heavy tube. Oh my God. It's called twisted tie-dye. Like literally, what did I expect? Oh, look. Okay, so dye stays in the tube, not on you. Thanks. What is this? Fabric dye tablets. It says only use these tablets to dye fabric, not a food. Do not eat. Just in case you get tempted. I mean, honestly, this does look like a little snack, but I'll try and refrain. So this is in fact our twisted tie-dye tube. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I thought that this would be like a little bit more sophisticated than this, but you just kind of like, I guess, don't put it together all the way so you can get a good twist on it. Now, inside the tube, the little like, can I say innards? Can you say innards on the internet? There's like prongs down there, you know what I mean? And I think that's supposed to help like grip and twist the fabric so that you can just go like this. Because at first I was thinking like, oh, there's no rubber bands in here, so what are we gonna do with that? But then I was thinking to myself, it's because you twist it up in there, you know? Then we have these 6 little squeezy bottles, and I honestly thought that the dye tablets were already preloaded in the bottles, but quite apparently not. All right. Pure chaos today, folks. All right, you guys, we have the primary colors. We've got yellow, we've got blue, we've got red, orange, purple, Shrek green. Okay, now let's open up these tablets and try and be tempted to not eat them. Ooh, oh, wow. They are like Easter egg dye. All they gave us was red, yellow, and blue dye tablets, and they give you 3 extra bottles so that you can make these other colors supposedly by mixing up the red, yellow, and blue and then squirting those colors of dye into these bottles to make custom colored dyes. I really, for the life of me, don't understand why they did that. I mean, it's not like it's like super complicated to mix those dyes together, but I mean, I feel like even now for centuries, the little like cheapy Easter egg dyeing kits that you get from like Walmart, they come with like 6 different shades of dye in the little tablets. Like, and all you have to do is dissolve them. I don't know. So let's go ahead and make up blue first. So let's drop the little tablet. Oh my gosh, the tablet like doesn't even want to fit in there. Like, the dye tablet is too big. Even trying to shove it in with scissors, and I feel like I'm about to poke myself in an extremely painful way. So you are supposed to mix it with 2 ounces of water. I feel like I'm gonna have to pour it really slowly because literally, yeah, look at that. Oh my gosh, that's such a mess. I'm gonna see if anything changes. This is ridiculous. So let's try and make yellow. And it's like the same thing, you guys. It's like stuck in there. I'm definitely gonna have to try and like more aggressively poke it down this time. Oh! Oh! Okay, well, yeah, I think I just sliced into the bottle a little bit. I mean, that right away makes this like literally not kid-friendly at all. 2 fluid ounces of water. Oh, okay, good news. The blue tablet finally dissolved enough to fall into the bottle now. I'm gonna give it a little bit of a shake to see if we can mix it just a little bit. I'm like literally shaking little bits of blue dye all over everything. All right, let's do red. We'll see, maybe red is like the magic color. Literally hazardous. So far, you guys, the whole point of this thing with the tubes and the holes and all of that is like so that the dye goes on the clothes and not on you. But like the mixing process is so messy, like definitely probably one of the messiest tie-dye kits I've ever used. So far, I'm not impressed, Twisted Tie-Dye. So while we're waiting for the red dye to dissolve enough that we can mix it up, let me catch you guys up to speed on everything else. I wanted to tie-dye like something different this time, and I'm on one of my notorious workout kicks, which will approximately last for like 2 to 3 weeks, but right now I'm exercising every single day. So I kind of wanted to make myself like a little like sports bralette, and I had this cute little like unif bralette and like short set that I've had at my house for years now, and it's 100% cotton, and even in the instructions they say you can literally tie-dye anything you want as long as it's 100% cotton. And honestly, you guys, that seems like another crazy thing about this tube. You can like hardly fit anything in it. Like, I don't really think I would be able to adequately put both pieces of clothing in here at the same time, which is shocking because it's like probably altogether not even as much fabric as like a regular small t-shirt. So there's that. You better want to like dye a tank top or a bandana or a bralette or a really tiny t-shirt or something. What I think I'm gonna do instead of dyeing both pieces at once, I think I'm just gonna go for the bralette. But what I'm gonna do to spice things up a little bit is add some ice cubes, because I have been seeing so many people on like TikTok lately tie-dyeing and adding ice cubes to the tie-dyeing process. And I've never done that before, and everything I've seen looks really cool. So I don't know if it's gonna work or do anything differently in our twisted tie-dye tube, but we're gonna test it out anyway. Now I know I'm like not wearing gloves, and they're always like, oh, you should wear gloves. The goofy thing is they also say like add little bits of the dye at a time so you can see what color you're making when you mix it into these bottles. But obviously the bottle is like not transparent at all. Like, how would you see what shade of green you're making, whether you're making like a light green or a dark green? So I'm just like randomly squirting some dye in there. Okay, I feel like that was quite a bit of blue. Now we're gonna mix some yellow. Yeah, I mean, I cannot at all see what shade of green this is. So that's what we got, you guys. I just made some green, I guess. Okay, red and yellow. And that, I guess, is now orange. Suddenly I just feel like I have the innate knowledge of colors, even though I don't at all. Okay, there's blue. Yeah, these bottles are honestly such a mess. The caps don't fit on right. They just kind of like squirt little bits of dye everywhere. Okay, I don't know what colors I've made, but we're just gonna test them all at this point. Plus, I'm like, I feel like I always try and do like 1 or 2 color tie-dye, and I feel like that's so boring because like, look at this shirt I'm wearing today. It's like all of the colors, almost all of the colors. I don't know, a lot of the colors. Anyway, let's fish my bra out of this tub of ice. But I went ahead and put water all over this because you always like tie-dye the clothing wet. So let's stick it in there. Also, oddly enough, in the instructions, they say and show pictures like rubber banding the garment together, but I'm gonna honestly see what pattern we get, if any, from just the twisting of it, because otherwise, like, what is the point of twisting? Like, I thought literally you didn't need rubber bands with this, because I thought that like you were making the shape of twisted, or the pattern rather of twisted. Confusion. So I put some ice in the bottom there. I don't know what I think that's gonna do. I've shoved this in there. Maybe I wasn't supposed to take like twisted. Oh, we lost another nail. Okay, I feel like maybe I should do this differently and like wrap some of the ice cubes in the bra. Maybe that'll do something different. Can't shove it in the tube now. Oh, there we go. Okay, I think I'm just doing the same thing. Maybe like the ice, like when it melts, it creates like cooler patterns. I don't know, folks. Okay, so we have an ice cube tube with a bra inside. So now you put the inner tube in the outer tube, like so. I guess that's part of why they call it twisted tie-dye as well, because you twist the tube until these holes match up, because very similar to our tie-dye orb machine, that is of course how you like squeeze the dye into the tube onto the garment. And I guess like that's part of what makes it neater as well, is like that you're just shooting the tie-dye in this enclosed tube. Although I have to say, it's not like secure. Do you know what I'm saying? So what I'm gonna do now is go like dump this other stuff out in the sink, because I have this tray to leave this item in overnight, because very similar to our last tie-dye item, you are supposed to leave the dye sitting here on the garment in the tube for at least 13 hours. So I want to see what the colors I made look like first, and what I think I'm mostly gonna do is try and shoot the dye in these top ports here, so that hopefully as the ice melts, you know, it kind of like trickles down onto the garment versus like actually trying to shoot dye like right onto the bralette. So let's even see that we're gonna be able to see the dye. Ooh, okay, I really, really like that color green. It's almost like a surge green. I really, really like that. I'm gonna try and hit just a little bit down here because I really like that color. So I wanna make sure we get some onto the bralette. I'm gonna try and put some yellow right here. Wait, that's literally where I just put the green. It's so weird. Okay, so I guess maybe that's why it's called twisted as well. Because like right now, these dots are lined up, but there's some dots that I can't get to. So I am gonna try and twist it. And it looks like there's an ice cube right there. So, okay, I've just kind of created this little area here. And let's shoot some dye in. So far, it just looks like there's plain, like dripping, melting ice cubes. I don't actually see any of the tie-dye like escaping out of here. So that's pretty good, because I kind of thought that that is what would happen immediately. Okay, I'm gonna try and like, ooh, I just made a mess. Okay, if you tip it over, the dye will start to go everywhere. See, there's like an ice cube blocking me off. I wanted to see if I could like squirt some purple dye right in there. Okay, I can kind of push the ice cube to the side, and now we are squirting some purple in there. So let's go ahead and add some blue, because why not? Let's do some more twisting. Yeah, there we go. Oh no. I don't know if this is turning like kind of a murky color now, adding that blue, but we'll see. We'll see if that was an oopsie. Okay. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna do something crazy, you guys. There's a lot of water down here, but I am just gonna go ahead and try and like flip it over and we'll let some of the ice cubes, oops, we lost another nail. Let's see if some of the ice cube water will like drip through the garment and maybe that'll make it look cooler. But let's add some more green down here and then that way we can like add it to a different portion of the bralettes and also the ice. Let's see, how about some more yellow? There we go. We will twist and add some purple. And then I will add just a little bit more blue. Oh my gosh, blue is dripping everywhere. You guys, I'm so excited for how this is gonna turn out. I just tried to film some up close clips on the iPhone, so hopefully y'all can get a better idea of what this thing looks like in this tube. And usually I don't mix like that many different colors of tie-dye dye together at once. I feel like usually I just go for a nice tri-color blend. And I love the color that it has created right now because it's like an amazing pickle green color. So I don't really know if we're going to get like an actual tie-dye look with this, like if it's gonna look like the shirt that I'm wearing, or if it's just gonna be like one uniform color by the time that I've like twisted it all around and like turned it upside down a couple of times, but we shall see, you guys. We will wake up tomorrow and see the magical pickle bra that we have created. All right, you guys, it is the next day and it's finally time to reveal our twisted tie-dye. I was curious to see if the dye was still gonna look as pickly as it did last night, and it does. Look, I'll pour out the sludge. Ew. I really did like the color of dye that all of the mixed tie-dye shades together made, but is it gonna look good on the actual garment? I don't know. Almost looking at it in the tube, it doesn't even 100% like look like the dye got absorbed. Let's just crack it open and see. All right. There we go. What do you guys think? Do you think it's gonna look good or gross? Oh my gosh. Okay. It actually looks a lot better than I thought that it would. I actually really like this. Like when I saw it in the tube this morning, I was like, oh my gosh, this is such a bummer. It does not look good at all. But now looking at it on here, I kind of like the color. It is kind of like a grungy, muted tie-dye. I am a little nervous to see what it's gonna look like after I put it in the washing machine, because I feel like maybe the quality of the actual dye that you get in this tie-dye kit is just not as good as a lot of the other tie-dye kits that we've tested. And I don't think I've ever had another tie-dye kit say that you have to use the dye within 45 minutes of making it. Usually they say like use it within 24 to 48 hours for best results. But this, I don't know. So what I'm gonna do now is go ahead and take it in, throw it in the washing machine, and then dry it, and we will see the final result. Well, y'all, it is time for the big reveal and the final results. And if I'm honest, I'm not sure if I did something wrong here, or maybe this is just not my favorite way to tie-dye, like both with the twisted tie-dye machine, and also I'm thinking maybe I did the ice method wrong. Like maybe I should not have put ice cubes inside the twisted tie-dye machine. Maybe that diluted the dye. I don't really feel like the dye was like that high quality to begin with, and maybe the ice just made it worse, because I'm sure you guys can can see from this clip, even when I did the initial like pre-rinse outside, you know, normally when you do tie-dye, there is a lot of excess dye runoff. So normally I just take it out to the yard and like wash the excess like dye off there before I put it in the washing machine. And I think even when I just put the water hose on it outside, that all the dye washed out. Like pretty much right before my eyes, I saw the garment, like in essence, turn back to this white shade. And needless to say, when I actually put it in the washing machine and the dryer, at this point, you guys, it doesn't look tie-dye at all. Like I feel from this distance, like it literally just looks like exactly the way that it did before I started this process at all. So you can see like some faint dye, maybe can you see that? It like looks like basically I stained it. Like it looks like I was like maybe drinking Kool-Aid or something and I spilled Kool-Aid on the front of my bralette. So, oh my gosh, you guys, I feel like maybe this was an epic fail this time, but hey, maybe it was my fault for adding so many ice cubes, or maybe I should have then put more dye, because what I'm starting to think is I put the dye on the garment, but then there was ice cubes like on top. Because remember, I was like squirting the dye onto the ice cubes. Because I thought as the ice melted that it would potentially like melt the dye onto the bralette. But I think what happened is it just really diluted an already diluted dye. So I don't know, you guys, maybe I will do another experiment with tie-dye and ice. Maybe I will try twisted tie-dye again. I've also seen people tie-dye with Orbeez, and that looks like it could potentially be so much fun. And I've also seen people tie-dye with dry ice, and that just sounds so cool too. So I'm sure we're gonna be testing out more fun tie-dye methods over the summer. So stay here, stay tuned, and thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today and for watching. If you're not already and you'd like to be, hit the button down below, subscribe, become a member of the Swamp family, and give an alligator its wings. I love you guys so much, and I will see y'all again very, very soon.